Hello! So I will be explaining how to do book searches today. Now, for book searches we do 3 different searches, the first, second, and third, and here is where they would be located. Books that need a first search done to them are in this folder that says First Book Search. And these items, this is the first time that anyone will have been searching for them. So we are going to check areas like the reshelving areas, circulation, the hold shelf on circulation, and then we are also going to look the item up in the system to see if it has any special messages when it was inventoried to see if it can help us find it. And then we will check the stacks. We will check behind the books, the bottom shelf to see if it had fallen, and we are also going to check the shelf above and below just to see if it was misshelved nearby. So I'm here for the first book search. I already checked the reshelving areas, the circulation, the hold shelf, and all of those areas I needed to. I looked at the item record and nothing seems to be out of ordinary. So now I'm going to check, this is the section I'm looking for, ML 410 S15 C36 2012. So for this 410.S15 C36, it should be right here. So first I'm going to look behind to make sure it wasn't pushed back. And I'll look behind down here too. I'm going to look on the bottom shelf to make sure it didn't fall through. Alright, and I didn't see it. And now I'm going to check just the shelves around it just to make sure. S15, 410 S15, C36. Alright, so in the first search, I did not find it. I would only check very briefly just to make sure it's not in the surrounding area. And because I didn't find it, I'm going to put my initials on it and date it, and then I'm going to put it in the second folder. And once a first book search is done and the person was not able to find the book, then the sheet will be put into the second book search folder. So this one has the initials. I looked for this, so I put my initials and the date that I searched for it. And because I could not find it the first time, I put it in the second book search folder. So we are doing the second book search on this material now. I already did everything for the first book search. I checked the nearby shelves, I checked reshelving, I checked the hold shelves, and I also looked the item up on the computer to see if there were any strange messages or anything that could help us figure out where it is. So now what we are going to do is we're going to do a letter-by-letter search. So this one, for example, some places that it could be, more than likely it was misshelved, which means that someone just made a mistake, a very close mistake. So some places it could be in the M section, it could be in the ML section somewhere else, it could be in MT, it could even be in a place like N. You know, M looks a lot like N. If it's in none of those, you're going to go on to the second part. 410. 410 can look a lot like 41. It can look like 140, 610, 510, 310, 210, you know, things like that. It could be 1410. You're going to need to check all of those areas. So switching around different letters could be your problem, or 401. If it's not in any of those sections, you're going to check the 410 section a lot more extensively. So the entire 410 section, you're going to search for S15. If you do not find it even in that, you're going to check S15 more extensively for C36. And if you still cannot find it, and you've checked places like even oversized is a good section for M's to get misshelved in because they they're bigger volumes or bigger books. Then you're going to initial it. It should be the second initial on this. You're going to date it and you're going to put it in the third folder. And then the final search is the third one. Now this one, we are going to repeat the same steps as first and second. So we are going to look in the reshelving areas, circulation, documents on demand. We're going to look in the periodicals, look in reference just to make sure it's not in a different area. You're going to search offices, copiers, and printer stations because you need to make sure that it's not in the library. So this is the third book search. I've already checked the shelf like I did in the second book search, and I checked all the common places from the first book search, like the reshelving area, but this is kind of a less common area. This is where things have already been repaired, or one of the repair areas. So I'm going to check all of these and make sure that it's not here. And then another place I'm going to check is on the cart where they're actually binding the spines. Make sure it's not one of these. And then I'm just going to keep moving on down and check this cart to make sure it's not on here. And you're going to check where the new books are. You're going to check all of these to make sure it's not here. You're going to check the holds not notified. And then you'll also check the actual hold shelf, which is right here. This is behind the circulation desk. Make sure to check, the carts over there in regular circulation. And you're also going to check places like offices. You're going to check printer and copier areas. You're just going to check pretty much everywhere that could possibly hold a book. And if you still cannot find it for the life of you, you're out of options, then you're going to put the third and final initials on this, and you're going to put it in your supervisor's box. But at this point in time, this book will then be marked as missing.